right, everybody. Welcome back to the PRPL Podcast. This is your host, Austin. Sending love out to you early this morning. It's a Sunday morning. Good to be back on a Sunday morning. We haven't recorded an episode on a Sunday in a bit now. I feel like that's the first thing that I always gravitate towards is just the day of the week. But it is Sunday. It's a nice Sunday morning. We got our coffees out in front of us. We're drinking. We got a full booth as well. I think that's also notable. Welcome back to the booth, Griffin. It's good to have you here.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's funny. It's been so long, it almost feels like I'm out of place at this point. It's like you guys have your own feng shui. So
yeah, Mike, what do you think?
I don't know,
another
man.
invite, or we just keep it us rocking here?
Austin, I don't know. I kind of feel like I need a little space over here. You know, this cat's kind of taking up some of my room. You know, I got to spread out. So.
I knew I smelt something funky down here.
Well, it's Griffin.
Yeah,
it's definitely not us.
Hey, man.
No, sir. No, early Sunday morning, boys.
Yeah, well, it does feel good. It's familiar.
It's familiar.
It's the way it's been.
Well, we're working ahead. We've got some vacations upcoming, so we're going to be out of town, and you know, it's for you guys back home. We're working hard to put it out there. We don't want to let you down. We don't want to take a week off, so we're in here recording an episode on Sunday for next Sunday.
Yeah,
and we're doing the Dead Poet Society, guys.
Yes, sir.
We are. It's right on as we speak, isn't it?
The Robin Williams 1989 classic, following some boys at Welton. One thing I wanted to ask you, Griffin, and another thing we do to note, this is the tail end of Teachers Week. So this was most recently Teachers Week. So shout out all the teachers, Coach Mikey, I guess Teacher Mikey. I don't know what he goes by. Maybe I told him to watch this movie. I said, if you need any like teaching inspiration, this would be a fun one to watch and kind of, you know, get in the mindset to mold young men, right? You don't like that?
Yeah, that's all right. I think you almost had it. You screwed it up at the end, but no, that's it.
Austin, he's not going to give you a break. Welcome. You know what? This is what we did for having this guy here with us.
I bet Mikey would.
Turn boys to men. What the hell?
Yeah.
You're making it weird, man.
Any shout outs to some of your all's teachers?
Well,
I mean, you all had some fantastic teachers.
Sure did.
Come on.
What I was getting at prior to saying Mike is that we went to an all-boys high school, you know, that in some ways, I'm not going to say it was something, private school. It's something that, you know, it wasn't Welton, you know, it wasn't one of those Northeastern schools like that had but we had our own history, right? We had our own history. We wore a shirt and tie to school.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, well, it's funny because, you know, obviously you would hear stories about people who went back in the 80s and they had to actually wear a sports coat every day.
Yeah.
Which we didn't have to do that. And I think we looked at each other like we were the lucky ones, or people looked down on us like, oh, you guys have it easy. Mm-hmm. I know that the kids who go there now don't even have it as hard as we used to.
Yep.
I forget what their kind of leeway is. Well, you know, you told me what
I don't know the exact parts of it, but I know that like maybe every Friday is like you can wear a polo, you know, like a polo for the school athletic. And like, I think there's more like athletic wear days. We got like 1 or 2 a year where we could wear like jeans and a t-shirt, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
it was really rare.
I will say like, it was something that struck me pretty immediately watching this movie and thinking about our experience there. And especially in the scene where our one boy Overstreet is going to the other high school to see the
public
Chris.
School, right?
Yeah, and it's like, oh my God, that is like, I just thought that was hilarious because you see all these guys and these girls. There's a kid dancing with like a mascot head on the bus.
Those jocks that they had, they were just insane.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like that was not our high school experience at all. But I know that feeling of walking and seeing it and being like,
so this is what the rest of the world lives like, right?
Yeah.
That's a really good point. But and they even share the sentiment of having girls at the school, you know?
Oh yeah.
I know that was something I personally was like, God, high school would have been a whole lot more fun if there were some chicks at school, man.
Oh my gosh.
But
yeah, one boy was vouching for it.
Exactly. He put it in the paper. He got a call from God. That was great. Charlie Dalton.
What an awesome character. I literally, this is, you know me, guys, I don't normally take notes. I actually did take a few notes on my phone watching this movie.
Yeah.
And one of mine was Charlie. I really like his character. He's just funny and charismatic. And I mean, he's lighting up a cig right now. It's the first glimpse in this movie of any of the kind of
the forming of the characters.
Yeah, the forming of the characters. That's a perfect way to say it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, before we get too far into this here, Clinkies.
Clinks, guys.
We got a full boot.
Yeah.
Clink it up.
Clink.
Clinks. I don't know if I'm going to reach Griff.
Bang. Bang.
Again, Mike.
Double.
Guys.
Put it back.
Yeah, I got the Coco Pelli mug today. Is this chock full of nut sauce?
Chock full of nuts. That's my ground.
Great.
My grounds of
is
choice.
wonderful.
No free sponsorship, but if you're looking for a podcast to sponsor your beans, chock full of nuts, hit our line. We're here. The line's open. All right. So this movie comes out June 9th of 1989.
Okay.
So you know what's next, Mike, don't you?
Absolutely.
What the hell were you up to in 1989?
Austin, my world had just about come to an end in 1989.
Oh, gosh.
I graduated from college.
Oh, man.
I had to leave my perfect home. I was at Western Kentucky.
I'm sure it was very perfect.
I had a great life at Western. Then reality struck. Had to come in and was at that point I got to find a job, guys. 89 was tough, tough times. The economy wasn't the greatest at that time. And, job search wasn't like now where you're on monster.com or Indeed or, you were,
where are you looking for jobs? You can tell this guy hasn't looked for a job in quite some time.
Hey, and hopefully
he doesn't need to.
And hopefully I don't need to.
Yeah. What's the time? You got 1 week left?
Guys, I've got 4 more days. So, and I'll be wrapping this up.
This is your last voyage.
That's amazing.
This is it, boys.
That is so great.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
I was telling people at my work, Austin, I was like, my dad's about to retire, and everyone's like, oh, cool. And I said, like, literally in 7 days. And like, oh,
yeah, good for him, right?
They're like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's close, guys. Hey, just a couple other quick things. Also, I'll turn this your way.
Yes,
How
sir.
about Batman was huge in 1980? That's the Jack Nicholson. Nintendo was released. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Yeah. Bobby McFerrin. And then one of my favorites, and Griffin, I know you've played this at some of your music venues. You played Tracy Chapman. So Tracy Chapman was huge in 89.
Fast car.
Austin, that's it. I'm turning it over to you.
Those are some good moments. So, like I said, June 9th of 1989, this movie came out. Performed incredibly well at the box office.
Great.
Budget $16.4 million to make the movie.
16 million.
Amassed $235.9 million.
Yeah.
Would you have thought that?
No, that's incredible. I wouldn't have thought this movie had a budget that high either. I guess like paying all the actors and stuff.
Yeah.
All the people working on it.
I don't know. I feel like that's not a very big budget.
Maybe not 16 million.
Maybe for the era.
Griffin, I don't think that doesn't seem outrageous
at F1,
at all.
It was $300 million.
Yeah, come on.
Inflation, but still.
Yeah, I was about to say 30 years later.
Guys, I saw this one at the movies. Oh, absolutely.
Really? That's
great. This was huge.
What was your initial reaction?
Word of mouth of this movie was it was Robin Williams. Robin Williams is starring.
Mm-hmm.
You've got this comedian. Now he's a serious actor.
Yeah, this was his first serious role.
This is one everyone wanted to see if he was going to be that leading guy. Okay.
Well, what was your initial impression of it? 1989.
I love this movie. That's why when Austin mentioned this one, I said, "Wow, can't wait to see this one again." And
no, you said, "Are you guys sure? Do you know what happens in this movie?"
Oh yeah. That's true. That's true. I wasn't sure he knew, but obviously he did.
I had a feeling.
But I'll tell you this: there's some things that I forgot. I thought that scene was done a little different, as I explained to you earlier. Yeah. Great movie, guys.
This movie also was nominated for 4 Oscars.
Absolutely.
Coming home with 1. So Robin Williams was nominated in the Best Actor.
Nice.
It was nominated for directing by Peter Weir. That was the director.
Mm-hmm.
Best Picture as a whole, Stephen Haft. Well, I don't know why they say the names. Those are just the producers. And then also it ended up winning the writing for screenplay. So
okay.
Tom Schulman.
Well, just jumping ahead here, what do you think of this scene? We're first introduced to Robin Williams' character. Walks through the classroom. What did y'all think of that?
I mean, it's an amazing scene. I mean, it's right away. That's when I ended up texting Mike and saying, Mike, if you need some inspiration for teaching, this is immediately, grabbing.
Yeah.
He just strolls on through. whatever he's whistling, takes them out to the hallway. And what a great point that he makes with it. You know, it's like, God, I mean, Carpe Diem. Yeah. You know, do we just go ahead and jump and say that's the theme of the movie? You know, seize the day.
No doubt.
Seize the day. Good call.
You know, he includes the poetry in it, of course, but I think he makes a really great point. You walk through this hallway, you see these faces, but I don't think he ever took a second to really look at them.
Yeah.
And he starts whispering, Carpe. Carpe. And the thing is, too, that whole first day of school, you see all these kids are just bored as can be. Yeah. You know, hating these classes. It's Helton, you know, it's Helton. And you can tell that this guy's going to be something different. And the stiff Cameron comes out of it. You think he's going to quiz us on any of this? Yeah. And then Charlie goes, don't you get anything? So I thought that was pretty funny. And I love the way that it goes from face to face of these characters that we're going to meet. And some foreshadowing too, you know, we're all going to be worm food.
Oh, that
someday.
That was really good. It, you know, as an adult, as getting older, you go, well, you're right. I mean, absolutely. You live your life as full as you can, guys. And that's what, you know, as Austin pointed out, that's what this is all about. That's what life's all about.
Well, it is I think something really powerful about any movie, and I think this might, you know, it's kind of always the case, but whenever you're seeing something or you're hearing something and it really resonates with your life and you can apply it super easily, I think that is pretty meaningful. Because I know when he kind of brought that point up, for me, I was like, wow, like, you know, I can think of a million moments where my life pertains to that as well, or where I could kind of, you know, take that in too. So it's like, damn. And I think, like you said, the close-ups on the face and just hanging that extra second, it really kind of emphasizes the gravity of the scene and like how much these kids are taking it.
I think it's funny how he kind of clowns on their names too. Pitts, what an unfortunate name. Then he has them reads the Virgin's poem. It's like, quite fitting, isn't it? So he's just kind of he's clowning on the guys too, but it's all poking fun and good spirit. Meeks,
another good name,
another weird name or whatever it may be.
Yeah, well, I loved how also he was like, hey, I came from Helton as well. I survived it. You know, I was like, damn, yeah. I don't know. It's just kind of a way of bridging the gap between him automatically establishing that trust and that, you know, belief that he might be a little different.
And once he says like, I'm not the mental whatever fortress that I am today, something along those lines. I was all but 98 pounds and people would kick books of Byron in my face, you know.
Yeah, it's funny, man.
But all right, here's some other things that happened in 1989, that being the box office. You had Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade comes out this year. So Batman, you mentioned that. Ghostbusters 2. Dead Poet Society sitting at 4th here on the box office for the year. Star Trek, the 5th one there. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Field of Dreams. A lot of really good movies.
Field of Dreams, wow.
Roadhouse, Pet Cemetery.
Oh, wow.
Well, that was
I guess Rain Man is still registering from the year before that because Rain Man had just won the Best Picture, I think, from the year prior.
Damn.
But yeah, some pretty good things.
Strong year.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Well, that was actually just June. Never mind. But anyways, those are still the big movies of the year. Back to the Future 2 comes out that year too. I didn't think it was that late in the game, Back to the Future 2, but 1989. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. I think the first one was like 84.
85, I think.
85? Yeah. Pretty big gap right still. There. Yeah. Paula Abdul, like I said, was really good musically, or really big. You know, she had Straight Up, so that big song. Straight Up, Tell Me. That's one, right? There's a whole lot of good ones. Every Rose Has Its Thorn, Poison.
Nice.
What else we got on here?
I feel like I've seen before, Dad, that Wish
Bon Jovi.
What's that guy? Saheed?
Terrence Trent D'Arby.
Yeah, I think Wishing Well was 88 or 89.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a great song.
I think Bobby Brown was big that 89 as well.
That makes sense.
Well, all right, guys, we want to get into some of our favorite scenes here.
Absolutely, we
Hop
do.
on into it.
Please, you lead the way, Oz.
Well, I'll do the cleanup game again.
All right.
Mikey, tell us about some of your favorite scenes.
My favorite scenes, guys, you know, I really enjoyed seeing Neil. I enjoyed seeing Neil acting, just seeing the passion that Neil had.
Oh, you liked him playing Puck, huh?
Yeah, I was, I was really surprised with that. And again, Griffin keeps saying, hey, they keep going and showing the faces of the other kids. And it was great to see just how much joy they were taking in watching Neil on screen.
Right.
And he loved it. I mean, the young man loved it. Mm-hmm. It just kind of broke my heart when he looked up and he saw his dad, and you could tell he got a pit in his stomach, like, oh shit. Now my dad's going to be here. And you could just tell the excitement. You just kind of felt it when you saw him on the screen, on the stage after that he didn't have that same.
I was wondering if he was going to like flub up or something.
Yeah, I was too, but he was so dynamic in the beginning. And then when he saw his father, it just seemed like it just kind of dropped a little bit to me.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
He still held it together though, I noticed, because I was worried that he was going to let it slip, and he didn't.
No, he didn't.
It was like, okay,
I was
held
great,
on.
Mom, or whatever he says. But
he was, guys, let's just what everyone was saying, and that was not fluff. He was fantastic. He could have been a fantastic actor.
Well, what was a shame too, I think, is I just had it. Now I'm losing it. Actually, it doesn't matter.
Well, the scene prior, you kind of think like, were you like, oh God, he's lying. He's lying.
That's what it was. I thought that he was lying to Robin Williams, and I think old Keating was kind of looking like,
it's deliberate.
Serious.
Yeah, they're showing you that for a reason, because it's like, oh, you told him, and he's going to let you pursue acting now.
Yeah. No, he's not happy
gonna
about
do
it. Yeah, he's not happy about it. There she is. Old Knox is.
Knox was Overstreet.
This would have been number 2 for me. Knox, I really liked his character.
He's seeing fireworks. He's not thinking of
he's sprung. He is absolutely sprung.
He's like Lois Lane seeing Superman. That's what he is. And I can't blame the fella.
Look at him breathing. That's well done. Yeah,
I really just love these group of guys that we get. Yeah. And they make you. Each one has their own kind of role too. I think they do. It's almost like the Goonies in a way.
That's the thing. It has that great movie dynamic of the crew. That's a theme I could kind of mention right now. Just like that crew dynamic, and everyone fits in. We're seeing Meeks and
the
Pitts.
Dead Poets Society.
Yeah, they're the society. But Meeks and Pitts, you mentioned before we started, Austin. I love their characters, their little relationship.
Yeah,
they're really fun.
They're the two that of the group, they're kind of the same character together. Like their character is the Batman and Robin, and I'm not even going to say one's Batman, one's Robin, but they're like the duo, as a character. They work together, and they're working on the radio. They're doing their dance up on that.
What's the Sandlot? What's Sandlot? Those two twins.
Like Mikey. No, is it, what are those?
You know what I'm talking about, Dad? Where they're the same character. They just repeat. The one kid just repeats the older brother.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I don't think he remembers, but that's okay.
I know. He's just nodding and smiling. Nod and wave, boys.
Yeah. That's him. No, that's a great point, Austin. Yeah, but man, this is terrible. What's his last name's Anderson. It's Ethan Hawke's character. What's his first name?
Todd.
Okay. So my favorite scene, again, I mentioned my notes. I wrote it down immediately. Mm-hmm. The scene where Keating says, "Hey, Todd, well, it's time for you to read your poem." Yeah. And of course, we're seeing in scenes prior to that, Todd writing, and he's writing this beautiful stuff. You're able to read it for just a second. They're showing it close up on screen, and he's writing this really good stuff. But of course, when Keating says it's your turn, he says, "I didn't write a poem."
Well, everything before, there's so many times that, he initially doesn't want to join the Poet Society.
Yeah.
Just because he has to read out loud in front of people. It's not like he has to do anything. It's just speaking out loud. And then Keating himself in the I guess the class prior is when he's assigning it. I thought he was going to let him up easy. He calls on him and he looks up, and Keating kind of brushes over, calls on, what's his name?
Neil.
Calls on Neil just to kind of deflect real quick. Mm-hmm. But as he's walking out the door after he's assigned it, he's like, "And Todd, don't know or don't think I don't know this assignment scares the hell out of you, you mole." So he's great. Like he pokes fun in the best ways of these guys. Yeah. And I think he makes fun of himself too. I think that's kind of what it is. Yeah. And when I think about, like a teacher, and I read some reviews, like some people were very critical of this. Roger Ebert, that big guy, was saying something like, "Oh, they wouldn't be talking about these intellectuals wouldn't be talking about the contemporary poets of the time at the end of this lesson or at the end of this this class, whatever, this semester. They won't really love poetry. They'll just love their teacher." It's like, well, dude. What a nerd. It's like, nerd alert.
Hey, what's up? Nerd alert. What's the red-haired kid's name in this, Austin?
Cameron.
Oh, Cameron. I think
Richard
Ebert might need to punch to the nose like old Cameron did.
Oh,
that's what I think.
Yeah, he had that coming.
Nerd alert.
He said people applauded in the theater when that happened. But yeah, it's like, but I think about a teacher and it's like, man, the first step to being able to teach young men is getting them to like you as a teacher,
sure.
you know?
You've got to connect.
Well,
like,
the thing is,
you can't just start.
You remember, all of you guys remember being in high school, and what made you like a teacher? It's a teacher you respected and one that you felt comfortable with.
Of course.
I know you talk about your
That's
Spanish
exactly
teacher
what I'm getting at.
Always.
You talk about how he was a really cool guy.
You know, he and I even had conversations outside of school.
Yeah.
You know, I ran into my Spanish teacher years after I graduated. And it was kind of cool. You know, he was a single man. He played football for University of Louisville, and I ended up running into him at one of the like Partridge Meadows, if you all know that, one of those apartments. And he was there with the blonde, and I'm like giving him one of those, like, "Hey, I see you, bud." You know, and I was like patting him on the back, like, "Nice score, dude." You know, and
Chris, huh?
Yeah, it was just kind of cool. You know, just it's like you could tell. He was looking at me more than a student, you know.
But there's that great scene right at the beginning, and I'll let you get back to yours to continue on that path.
This is a great scene too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the first
tells
thing
them to pull the check.
He's like, "Oh, let's talk about the Pritchard, whatever it is," and they go through the whole thing. He's like, "Rip that shit up, you know, get that out of here." Well, you can't talk about poetry like it's laying pipe.
When they were reading that out loud, were you expecting something like that? Because like my bullshit detector was immediately like, God, that's such a terrible analysis.
I really wasn't, because like in a way I was thinking about like tasting wine, and you have to have this systematic approach to like properly like appropriately judge something, right? So I was kind of thinking in that mindset. But then when you think about it, it's like something like poetry and something like wine too. Yeah. Like I think it's just a basis for understanding, but the real part of it is the human element, and what he, you know, very clearly alludes to. We're members of the human race.
Yeah,
that's why we read poetry.
There's some great language and just moments like that. And something I'll note, and I couldn't stop myself. I think that in this modern age, I think this movie would probably get some bad looks from a lot of people. Like, I think it's kind of popular to almost insult the I don't know, kind of that idea of like, oh, Thoreau or Whitman, like to kind of romanticize those poets. I think that's a little bit like, maybe some people would say that's a little overdone now. Mm-hmm. Like
maybe that's what Ebert was getting at.
Well, if you made this movie the same exact way right now in 2025, it would not strike the same way. But I had to remind myself that this was 30 years ago. Like these were newer, more fresh things.
Well, it's set in 59 as well.
Yeah.
So
that's true. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. There were definitely a few moments where like they're kind of like, oh, well, you know, this was Whitman's idea, and like Thoreau escaping to the woods and sucking the marrow out of life and all that stuff. And I don't know. I was just thinking how in this day and age, I think some of those things wouldn't strike, because people want to call bullshit on things and be like, like
they want to be a critic. Everyone's a critic. I mean, look at us assholes.
Yeah. Look at us.
It's what we do every week, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But guys, let me just say this. This is the scene where what Austin was saying is, hey, you've got to win over your classroom. Mm-hmm. And guys, by doing what, you know, it's just like I'm a manager. There's a point where when you're managing, you don't sit across from your employees. You sit beside your employees when you talk to them. You want that one-on-one where they're going, hey, he's just a guy. You know, I'm just a guy. You don't want that barrier. And that's what he does in this scene right here is he gets down in the middle and he's like in a huddle. Yeah. It looks like a football huddle. And I love it. It's
the
like
crew, man. It is.
Yeah. I mean, Dead Poets Society. Here's where this team is starting to be formed.
Yeah.
Well, I like this scene too, because like I think it shows that he has some guts about him. Like, this teacher kind of questions him, and he doesn't back down at all.
But I like this guy. This guy turns, and they're very purposeful on Keating's way out the door in the end. When he's up in his tower, and you see that guy walking out in the courtyard, he looks back up to him and gives him a wait. Because he even laughs at his joke.
Guys, look at this. Look, Austin. Look what I was telling you about. Look at Robin Williams' hand.
I mean, he's a hairy guy. I'm a hairy guy.
He looks like a Neanderthal.
But let me give the quote from that part, because that's one of the one I wrote down. Because McAllister, like you said, the guy's name's McAllister, the other teacher. Yeah. And he's, talking about him. He's like, oh, but when these guys figure out they're not Rembrandts, they're gonna.
I didn't take you for a cynic.
I didn't take you for a cynic, but he says, "Show me the heart unfettered by foolish dreams, and I'll show you a happy man." Keating, but only in their dreams can men be truly free. 'Twas always thus, and always thus will be. McAllister goes, Tennyson? No, Keating, and gives him a wink. And he laughs. He loves it. There's the face. So I think that's a really small scene.
It's a strong scene.
A really small one, but a really great one. Because you could tell, because that guy's, he says, no, not a cynic, a realist. So he's a poetry guy too. He is. Oh, yeah. You can tell. But let hammer on your scene.
Funny. They were showing his nickname. They showed his old Keating's old yearbook thing. His nickname was
the annual.
Keats. Yeah. Okay. My favorite scene is when Keating brings Todd out of his shell, and he's literally spinning him around. And what I loved about it was the camera work. They have a handheld camera, right, following, and it's really, really emotional, and it's super intense, just how it's happening. And I don't know. It was almost like he was like awakening this spirit inside of Todd, like just shaking him up, and he just starts pouring it out. It just starts coming, flowing, all of the verse, the words, all of like the little.
There is a poet in
scenery.
You.
Yeah, I mean, it was just beautiful.
It's amazing. Great teaching.
It was great teaching. Like, it was pretty. It was right on that line though, because like I was imagining in the moment, I'm like, dude, how would you feel though? Like, your teacher's, he was literally grabbing him, had his hands over his face, like it was super involved. But
oh yeah,
I mean, it was just a mesmerizing.
But it changed that kid the rest of the movie. If you I mean, his whole demeanor changed after that scene.
I loved how at the end he said, "Don't you forget this."
There it is.
And
yes,
it was amazing. I mean, it immediately struck me again to where I was like, wow, that's probably my favorite scene. And gonna be my favorite scene.
There's call it a romantic in me, but there is something in me that has always been really kind of interested in the idea of, teaching English. And probably that's because of the experiences that we had with our English teachers. Let's go out and shout them out. I had, teachers. Yoakum.
That was my freshman year.
Yoakum, Hilbert, sophomore year for me. Then I had Abel junior year. I think you had him sophomore and junior year.
Junior, yeah.
So you probably had a really nice bond with him in a way.
Oh, Abel was great. He really did me well because he had the same thing. All of the English teachers had a great camaraderie with their students. And they really made me at least feel like they cared about us. And they were super involved and just great teachers, man. The things that I learned, I loved my English teachers. I never had Hilbert, but I had him in an ACT prep class.
Yeah. And he was a good guy.
You loved him. I remember you talking about him. He was a
great. Well, we also had like great books that year.
Oh, yeah.
Like the literature was just great. And I was also a very impressionable sophomore in high school who was an angsty fella, so it just, we read Catcher in the Rye that year. I didn't go out and kill John Lennon, but it was stirring. And there was like really great.
Old Solinger, man.
Oh, I love that stuff. It was great. I ate it up. Well, but then Metzger senior year, I don't want to leave him out.
Yeah, Metzger was there too. I always felt bad. I didn't do as well with Metzger.
I didn't either.
It was this funny thing where like I think Abel really appreciated my writing style and Metzger did not.
Happens, man, right?
It was what it was, but yeah, it was interesting. Did you any thoughts like, did this stir any memories in you of being a student, or was your kind of school experience way different from what you saw here?
Guys, my school experience was completely different than yours. I went through the busing, I went through busing and it was just, again, my focus back then was, I'm exhausted. I'm getting up at, 4:35 in the morning to get on a bus to get to school. I had some really good English teachers, but mine would have to be more in college where I had professors that were just, because I was not a good writer like you two, but they were pushing me to expand your mind. They pushed me to become a better writer. And the other thing is, like Charlie, I had a speech professor at Western that did that very similar. He didn't put his hands over my eyes, but he made me stand up. I was very shy. I did not
like Todd.
I'm sorry, did I say Charlie?
Yeah.
I keep thinking Charlie from Sin of a Woman. I don't know why I keep thinking. I'm sorry, guys.
Sin of a Woman. That's great.
I keep thinking those characters are one and the same because they're very similar. But Todd, and like him, he got me up in front of the class, and I was very shy. And what he did, he just kept asking me one question after another. What do you enjoy doing? And I was just like, very, very timid. And he finally got me where it was like, you know what? This guy is not going to stop. And I just kept talking, and I kept talking about myself and my friends and this and that. Next thing I know, I was up there for 10 minutes and It worked. It worked for me. After that, kind of like Todd here, where I got my act together.
Really?
Yeah, it helped
That's
me.
great.
I was the one doing all the speeches for my teams and marketing teams. And then I was able to do the same thing in my fraternity where, I was very intimidated to speak in front of my fraternity brothers, where I started speaking at that point.
I remember I didn't have college classes were a little weird. I feel like I was there just to get a degree in a lot of ways, but there was one class that I took with a teacher. And it was actually for prepping resumes and stuff and getting ready for your elevator speech and that kind of stuff. And he was one of those guys who would call you out and have you speak on the spot or have you go up there.
That's the best kind.
I went into that class with the mindset that, you know what, man, maybe this isn't really what I want to do. But man, when you're open to that stuff and you just take it and kind of, flow with it, it is the best experience that you can get from the classroom. That's how you really do learn. And when you apply yourself,
active, engaged learning.
Exactly. But this movie, and one thing that I read was with Robin Williams passing, very, sadly taking his own life, which is a huge plot point in this movie itself.
Yeah.
And kind of adds to maybe just the gravity of this movie now, it really does. And it's a very poetic thing. It's a very Shakespearean thing to take one's life. It's kind of weird how that all connects. I'm not trying to make any kind of grand point with it, but I'm just kind of pointing that out.
It's worthy of being mentioned.
No doubt. But all the teachers that put out kind of memoriams and just thought of it because of the inspiration that this character had and put them on a path to becoming a teacher. A lot of people were inspired to become teachers from this movie because of, just how powerful all the classroom scenes are. If I'm going to talk about my favorite scenes, they're all in the classroom, I think. Those just magnetic
some nice
moments.
Scenes in the cave, though, too. And we're seeing the Dead Poets Society is being awakened, so to speak, here.
Yeah,
we're seeing them running through the woods.
I thought it was
kind of crazy.
It was crazy. It was really bizarre, but it was it had that 80s synth music kind of going to speak on the score briefly.
It's also creating mystique, I think. They're in their hoods and it's given...
And there's shadows. It's all foggy. They're running out,
It's really kind of hyping up the whole secret society element of it, which I think is partially what is happening. Something else kind of amazing about the engaged teaching, so to speak, of Keating... and of course, this movie was made in the late 80s, but I was kind of trying to remember or think of, it really did take some guts, I think, for him to have those methods of teaching at a school like that in the 1950s.
Here's one of my questions. My Austins, answer me this. How the hell did Keating get this job? There's no shot that he goes into his interview and doesn't say oh, these are my ideas.
Oh, yeah.
And they're in that Nolan stiff ass isn't nope, that's not going to work here.
The only thing that sold me was he was teaching in England. Like,
he went to Cambridge. I mean, like he's incredibly smart and he's obviously very good at what he does. But with what they're looking for, he was not the fit.
Who knows? I mean, it might have, maybe they just that doesn't make sense either. You think it would have been really thorough. That might be a plot hole a little bit.
I think Austin's caught us with that one. There's no way he would have ever got that job. Just almost everything he said and did, he was wanting the kids to be free thinkers. He even talks about his like view of education. I forget what he said, but he's like, I always thought that this was the point of it,
to make them think freely,
allow them to think freely. Exactly. So
I think one of the funny things in the first scene is when they all throw things out on the little picnic bag, and someone's like raisins, and then a person's like, wait a minute, who put half a roll on here? So just kind of Goonies-esque, just like chatter that's going on there. But let me kind of run through what is my favorite scene. I got to pick one, guys.
Let's do it.
We also got to mention Red Foreman. That was just crazy. I had no idea he was in this movie. Yeah. He came in like the first five.
There were so many good scenes, though. It's like it really is hard.
It was great. I think the best one is probably that second scene when he has them rip out the book or rip out the pages. Rip out
chapter 1.
And he gives them the quote. And we don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. Yeah. And the human race is filled with passion. Medicine, law, business, engineering. These are noble pursuits necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for.
Yeah.
So I think that is the heartbeat of this movie. Carpe Diem, that's a great one as well. The Don't You Forget This, amazing. I love all the Knox Overstreet side story.
That's what I was about to say. I think that Knox steals the show in some parts.
He does, man. But then you start loving Charlie.
Yeah, because Charlie, I thought a great scene was when he rips the little sax solo in the cave during one of the meetings, because he's screwing around and everyone's like,
you're going, he can't even play, and then all
Cameron that says, I love the clarinet.
Oh yeah.
Is it Cameron who says
this
that?
The sax?
I hated the clarinet, but I love the saxophone.
Well, I love that he starts singing it, or he makes it sing, and it's just like, and it just kind of takes the air out.
They're going, you could really play.
Well, that's what I mean. He kind of starts like kind of fucking around, skedaddling. You're like, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. But then he just breaks into that, and you're like,
man, he can play.
Yeah. When did this turn it into just fucking around to this is just brilliant. This is great. And I love the reaction from the guys because it's so appropriate.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a good sax.
And what's
every show you see these days, they bring out a sax guy to just tear it up at some point, that's a great part of every musical set.
Well, his whole character, Charlie, he changed his name to Nuwanda?
Nuwanda.
Yeah, I mean, that guy's crazy, but he had such personality.
Assume position.
Oh, yeah, he was so much fun, but my gosh. All the whole back half of the movie kind of, I don't know, I will say I do think this is a movie where, do you think the back half fell a little bit flat? What do you guys think?
No, I think
it seemed like it was just a little rushed at the end.
It felt a little quick.
It felt like it was because I'm watching it and I'm like, I was kind of settling in.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, 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 boom. The movie's over. I went, oh man, I was just starting to get reeled in because this is so much fun at the beginning. You see these kids again, they're forming a team. You just see these kids bonding. And then, the next thing you know, poor Neil bites it and bam, the movie's over.
Pretty much.
It just seemed really.
I've got a gripe with the Neil scene with him taking his life. I think it could have been more effective when Red Foreman, when his father walks in. I don't think they needed to include him slow-mo saying no.
Yeah, that was not needed.
I think it could have been completely silent. I don't think you needed to hear him say no because I think that kind of added like a not comedic element to it, but it seemed like goofy.
Inadvertently.
Yeah, it was inadvertently kind of goofy. I think they should have had all the noise, maybe like a ringing or something in the
like
ears.
A white noise.
Yeah, something that you can see his mouth saying it,
Yeah.
Because it was also really quick. They don't hold it on him very long. And then he's like, oh, my boy, which turns into like a brilliant part of the scene really where it's intense. Like, and she and the mom's there like, no, he's okay. He's okay. Yeah. He's like, stop it. Stop.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope, I don't even know.
Vintage Red Foreman.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Red Foreman in this character for sure, but without the redeeming elements that Red brings in that 70s show.
But I will say there's like there is a sad element of it too, because like, again, we kind of said this beforehand, he is humanized to a just minute degree, kind of, hey, I worked really freaking hard for you to get to this place. And, there's so much pride.
It seems like they're doing all right, though. The place is looking good. That's
true, but still, he's like, you made me a liar. This woman said that.
That was a good line.
Like, there's so much like pride around that guy and his family. And, so you're going to do this. And that's what you.
And guys, I'm not defending
opportunities.
I'm not defending Red Foreman, but guys, something as a father, you always want your kids to do better. And he saw the brilliance in his son. And he was, when you see that they have it and they can do it, and he felt like he had it and he could do it, he's like, you can put yourself from here. Here's where we are. We've worked our tail off to get here. Son, you can go here. I completely understand that.
When I saw my
his
dad yesterday,
his tactics were wrong.
Awesome. When I saw my dad yesterday, because he came over to Lexington for a moment, I patted him on the back. I said, hey, little bit of I said, oh, Red Foreman's character reminds me of you, my man.
It's like, let's just stifle every dream you can have, huh?
Yeah, what an asshole.
Be a doctor. You're going to military school.
Griffin, you should be a pediatrician. You're really good with kids, man. You should be a pediatrician.
That's why he's sympathizing.
Look at him now.
Yeah.
Hey,
but the thing is,
this is a great scene too, by the way. We got
to get a different view standing on the desks, because it then sets up, the end. Oh, we didn't even mention Captain, my Captain. He mentions that within the first couple.
Only the best line in the whole movie.
I love that. They call him Captain. Or like,
guys,
hey, Captain.
One thing that we did leave out is, when he's talking about poetry, why do we really do why do we really want to learn poetry? Yeah. You all left that line out. What was it?
Oh, is it
to woo women?
To woo
women.
Yeah, women swoon.
What's the point of language? I think that. Why did we invent language? To communicate. No.
To woo
women. And Knox absolutely loved that. He's like,
Knox rocked, man.
He was, gosh, what a great character.
I will say, were you a little uncomfortable with the, she's passed out on the couch and he starts touching her face? You're like,
it was, it got a little weird. It got a little
weird.
He probably deserved that punch to the face. That's another one of my gripes when Chet comes up. I see you. You die.
Just
good luck.
It was just a horrible delivery. It was very bad.
It was stiff.
I thought it was very bad. It was not how he would have said it.
Again, guys, this is the 50s. Stiff. Things were a little weird back then, so they were a little different. Look at the headphones he had.
Yeah, I definitely
at least he gave her a kiss on the forehead, I think.
Yeah, but it was innocent, guys.
We're immediately pushed to a point where it's like, okay, this is not.
You couldn't do that. It's
this
like,
is not
you probably don't want to put that in a movie.
Well,
nowadays.
you two came up with that Lois and Superman horned out. Come on, just think about that. You guys see the worst in movies.
Hey, but it works out for our fella.
This is all it does. This is also a great scene.
Just look at his face right here. Look at Todd's face. It's just a completely different demeanor now. He doesn't seem scared.
Well, no, he's still stiff here.
Yeah,
it's like you're about as stirred as a cesspool. Yeah. Well, I love that Neil cracks his ass in this, because Todd keeps pushing back on him. He's like, whose side are you on? God damn it.
Oh, yeah,
and he gets pissed great. because he keeps pushing him. He really does. He's getting excited about it, and Todd's buzzkilling the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's like, just let me have this for a second. I don't even have the role yet, man. Just let me have this.
Well, that's another great point that we haven't really brought up. I did think it was interesting seeing Neil's relationship with his father. Because, from the very jump, yes, sir, of course. Like, he's so stiff and
don't you rebuke me in public?
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. You kind of felt for him. Like
you
he
see
was
his
so
thing,
tied down.
You see his thing, and you also, I think Todd's character is really complex and interesting, and you don't get all of it, but I guess he's the second child, he's the overlooked child. It's almost like Gordy in Stand By Me. So it made me question, it's like, did something happen to his older brother that like he's so like rejected? I mean, they give him the same birthday gift twice. They obviously aren't even thinking about the guy.
His brother was a superstar student and everything. So.
What do you think about that line? Maybe they weren't thinking at all. Yeah, and he just kind of laughs
there's so many.
That was just kind of a passed over moment.
There's so many brilliant just character scenes, and that's why once Neil is gone, that it's so powerful and strong seeing Todd's reaction to it, because he was this roommate, and Neil is the one who kind of along with Keating really helped this guy become a part of this school. He's a transfer. All these other guys know each other. They've been going to school together for a while. Todd's the transfer. He's the new guy.
Everyone knows a Neil as well. I think all of us know a Neil, and like those types of people are just so impactful and amazing people to be around. We all know people like that, where it's like, God, that guy,
there's
guy,
a purity.
That person just has the purity. That person has that spirit that I love being around. Everyone wants to be around that person, and that's who Neil was.
Another strange question of mine: why does Charlie like shove snow in Todd's mouth?
I wondered about that.
Like,
that was odd.
What is going on?
Maybe he was trying to bring him back down to earth. I thought.
Yeah, just like ground his ass.
That was a little bit of an odd scene. I thought the whole thing.
I thought that he had thrown up.
I thought he was going to throw up too.
I thought he threw up, and then Charlie was handing him snow, going, here, wipe your mouth out. That's what I thought.
He was just so overcome with emotion from it, and he like spazzes out, like.
Oh yeah,
I
give him some space.
It's an interesting scene though, but it's like, man, how would you react, right?
What do you think about like? I think they have this kind of funny theme with Charlie. We mentioned the saxophone, but he also has those hand drums he's always playing, and then Pitts is like playing a flute and stuff. And they're like they have these little musical moments.
They're smart fellas.
They're really funny. I think though. It's just
let's get into our characters, guys. Let's do our favorite.
Well, we've talked about all the characters.
Well, that's what I mean. Let's just say which ones we like the most.
Mike? I think.
Griff, you started.
I love Charlie. I thought Charlie was awesome. He just had the swagger. He had the fun. And like, these are a bunch of repressed boys in private school. And he had such personality, was just having a great time.
Charlie's the zigger to the zags, man. And he does it. And it happens frequently. And there's actually a really cool part at the end when they're all singing at the end at the funeral, or I guess the funeral kind of, I don't know what we want to call it. The mass maybe for it. He's not singing. And that kind of goes back to when they do the marching in the courtyard. He's the one who's
dancing Austin. Look at that. He's dancing on the damn bus.
What swag Knox has too, man.
Yeah, Knox is cool, dude.
He's a good looking fella. I kept thinking he looks like someone I know, but I can't tell. But Charlie, he exercises his right to not walk.
Oh yeah. You joining us, Charlie?
He's the one who doesn't sign the paper at the end. He gets kicked out of school. So he's the guy who goes against the grain for sure. That's his character.
He was awesome. And
is Charlie your favorite?
Oh, that's so hard to say he's my favorite, but like I loved him. I liked all of these characters, man. It's really hard for me to take a pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm gonna say it's between, for me, this is crazy. I'm gonna say between Charlie and Knox, actually. Because I love Knox's character. I thought that it was funny. He was like really living out the Carpe Diem ideology, and they all did in their own way. But I liked how Knox did it, and he, I thought it was a great scene. He goes to Chris's school with the flowers and the poem.
Yeah.
Talk about a shtick that probably wouldn't work in the modern era. But back in this day, that was probably,
I don't know, man.
That might work today.
I love. She's like,
hey, Griff, maybe you need to change tactics.
Hey, that's obvious. But I love how she's like, she walks into the room and he waits for a beat, and then he goes in and it changes it's like, oh shit, he really walked in there, and she's just like, oh my God, and he just lays it on the table. And then when you see her come to Welton, it's like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Score.
Man.
Well, that line when he's on the phone. I mean, what's the point if you're not gonna if you're not going with her? He's like, the point is that she was thinking of me.
That was so great.
And he's like puts his head up again. You know, man, he's in La La Land.
I like he goes, after one time of seeing me, she was thinking about me.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Nice.
So those are my two favorite characters.
Very good. Very good.
Well done. Griffin, I'm right there with you. I had made notes, and Charlie was my dude. I like that he was rebellious. I like that he just kind of went against the grain. And there's a couple of scenes where Keating, he looks over like, that's my boy. He liked, but Knox, oh my God, I'm with you. But guys, we're not even talking about Keating. Robin Williams, he friggin' kills this movie.
Oh my
he
gosh.
sets all these kids.
He's nominated for Best Actor.
He set all of these characters up, and all we've talked about, if you notice, all we've talked about is the boys. We've talked about them the entire time. And guys, the difference, think about you guys, how different if it would have been if you guys would have went full time to a school away and you're away from your parents.
Yeah, the boarding element of it.
Think about that. They're with each other 24 hours a day, basically.
It's their unit, man.
Yeah.
Really
and
is.
I mean, you guys had some of that, some of that structure, but you didn't have this. You didn't have this. So it's different. You build relationships for life. I mean, I know you guys did, but these are relationships for life. It's, hey, we're all in this together. Hey, we can't go home and cry to mom and dad. You saw the little boy at the beginning crying. Mom, I don't want to go, and it's, sorry, little fella, you got to go to school. But I'm going to say my guy, I think Keating set everything up. I felt sorry for him because you could just feel it, what was going to happen.
Yeah.
He really wanted these kids to think outside of the box, to become their own man, so to speak. Just his tactics in class. I loved it. I love the idea that he had him stand on the desk. Mm-hmm. That to me. And then the scene he says, you can call me, what was it? Mr. Keating.
Or if you're more daring.
Or if you're more
Captain,
daring, you can call me Captain, my Captain. I mean, that was so different. It was just so different. I think like Austin said early, a lot of men and women got into teaching because of this movie. He's just bigger than life. Well, and you feel like you can actually change kids' lives by being similar to what he's doing.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I do agree.
I love that this guy, the guy who makes the terrible Cat in the Hat poem, he ends up standing in the end in that final scene.
Yes.
And you see the difference that he's made.
I love how he handles this, because the thing is, he doesn't crack him. Mm-hmm. He's like, you can do better than that, man.
And that's why he ends up standing at the end. Yeah. You can believe that. My favorite character, oh Captain, my Captain. It's Keating, Robin Williams.
Someone's got to mention Neil, by the way. Like
Neil is great. I mean, he plays that role so well, and that's why it's so devastating. You just love the guy. I think it's so devastating because of like the impact he has in this group too. You feel the weight of that loss so much more. Like this group loved him too, man. Like it was a heavy, heavy loss. So absolutely. You feel that. I guess let's just that last scene. Maybe that's my favorite scene. It's so triumphant. It's so great. But it's kind of reserved too. Like as much as like the boys make this big stand of defiance to Mr. Nolan, they all stand up. I love that, it's Ethan Hawke, it's Todd who makes the first movement because he was such a repressed individual to begin the movie.
And I mean, Todd, he's a great character as well. Todd is
amazing.
Yeah. Like you said,
it's so hard to pick up, man.
There's no one out of that group that could have led that charge and been more powerful than Todd.
And I love that he turns around at the end, and he's so moved by it, and it's so heartfelt when he looks back. He says,
"Thank you, boys.
Thank you, boys. Thank you." And that's how the movie ends.
All right, truthful moment. Did you tear up at that point?
Oh, I teared up all throughout this movie.
Yeah, I was teared up.
I had to look away from my wife. I teared up.
This is great. You had to look away from mine.
I had to look away because I had tears running down my eyes. I was so pumped up.
There are so many moments in here Then I'd like the first class scene, I said, holy shit, this is great in my notes. The third scene when he's talking about understanding poetry, rip out the pages, best teacher ever. And then
look how like stirring this is. Like, look at this whole scene, man.
This is when he's, people aren't watching this with us. This is when Ethan's up or Todd's up on the stage. He's spinning him in circles.
Yeah.
Tell him about him. The blanket that'll never cover anything but their face. It's just like, God. Don't you forget this. In that part, I have
fuck monkey hands. He puts his monkey hands over him.
Oh, they are monkey hands. That's funny.
Poor guy. Good God. Jumanji.
That's terrible.
I mean, what a well done scene.
It is.
Like you said, I mean, Robin Williams, Keating.
Look at him.
Fantastic.
My second favorite character, I think it's going to be Knox. I think I just
Knox.
I just love.
I gotta love
Knox.
Yup. Just the passion.
It's great, but man, it's so difficult because you love Charlie. You love that he sticks to his gun. Assume position 3.
Yeah, God, he was getting worse.
He's walking. He's like, "Damn it, Neil! It's New Wanda." That spirit didn't break. So that
was really cute.
That's great. I really liked Meeks. Meeks and Gerard, awesome. Man, they were just good, those guys. And then Cameron, that fucking dweeb.
Oh God.
Well, I think we got to say this too. Mr. Nolan, how well does he play the stiff, the bad guy?
Yeah, he knew that part.
I thought he was got to give him some props for how he played it off.
Guys, the cast was it's well done. The cast is perfect.
Who would you call a 6-man? Because I feel like Meeks and Pitts
would be a 6.
Meeks and Pitts have. Guys, I don't think you could do Charlie. I don't think you could do Knox. I think they've got too big of roles. But
they do.
Meeks or Pitts. I liked that one teacher, McAllister. Like I mentioned, I really like his small part in it, and you can tell that he isn't just a cynic.
He's got something in.
He's got to. Let's do our themes and things.
Well, hold on, Austin. I did want to add on the 6th man. I think you've got to add Kurtwood. I think you have to add him because without him, I might not be tearing up. At the end, he just, man, I can't get over
Mike really. He saw some of himself in that guy, didn't he?
Oh shit! Sure. Kiss my ass, both you all. I just thought without you guys, you got to have a bad guy.
What's Red's line?
You've got to have a bad guy.
What's Red Foreman's line?
Kick all your all's asses, right in your ass, jackass. Yeah, and he's gonna kick you in the ass. I think Kurtwood. I thought. Come on, he was well done.
My joke at the beginning was saying, man, I didn't realize he had all that range because obviously we grew up watching that 70s show, loving to death.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I think that
guys, just look up all the movies that man's been in. Once you do that, you're going to be surprised.
Exactly the same too.
He really
does.
Yeah.
He does. He's been in everything.
He plays that off very powerfully, especially when we're at the play. And Neil's up there, giving it his all, and he just got that
stern look.
Stare.
I'd be scared of that motherfucker.
Yeah,
he's a bad man.
I probably wouldn't have asked him either.
No, probably not. No. But themes and things, I mean, for me, Austin, again, I think it's coming of age. You said it perfectly with Carpe Diem.
Mm-hmm.
Camaraderie, the crew, there's
poetry,
romanticism.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And again, this is kind of played out in our current era. But back in this, I wonder if it was. I think it's really great, like showing that emotional, romantic side of men. Because that's what this is. It's showing these young boys how to actually interact with their emotional side.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very beautiful look at that. And also
it's a really good point.
And it takes away some of that edge and the bravado. There's almost no bravado in this movie. It's very, very true to that, like, more sensitive side of men. And maybe you'll have a better way of kind of maybe placing this in time, Dad. When you saw this movie back in the late 80s, was that kind of impactful? Like, oh shit, they're like really showing these boys in like a vulnerable way, or was that that already feel pretty well?
We had seen. I mean, guys, growing up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, guys, it's different. And I just wrote down men were men.
Yeah.
My father would, after work, he's hanging out with his buddies. He's having beers.
There's a whole lot of,
it's not like nowadays where you jacklegs or, like me, what I was doing. My God, first time my dad saw me changing a diaper, he comes up to me, goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Dad, I'm changing the diaper." He goes, "You don't do that." And he was dead serious. Like, you don't do that. Men were men, guys. And you see Kurtwood in this. I mean, when he spoke to his son, what did his son do?
Yeah.
I mean, it was different. It was a lot different than that. Especially, this is 20 years before me. Yeah. So you can imagine, these men were in the war. Kurtwood was in the war.
I sometimes feel like, as much as it wasn't talked about, I think there might have been like more that they would like even be like willing to say back then in a way. I don't know. Like, I feel like today there's still like repression of like men and their emotions and feelings, like within our friend groups, especially as you get older. I think that's something that, like, it kind of, when you're a kid, you're allowed to kind of be a little angsty and, you can have these emotions and feelings, but without getting called a pussy, like, I think there's still a lot of that in today's world.
I think things just as you get older and you have your job and you're just like so involved in your own world, it's just, you don't have enough time to break it down a little bit to get into
but I think that's why, like, I think just the timing of watching this movie just felt really good to me. I was really moved. I was really stirred by this movie. And it's like, you know what, man, this is a way to live. Whatever your pursuits may be. And I think there is a good point that Keating makes as well. He's like, there's a time for daring and there's a time for caution. Yeah. And that's true in life too. Suck it up, do your job. Suck it up and do your job. But I think you're still allowed to be a little daring and you can't lose that fire. I think you do these things to make life sustainable, but you also do things that make life worth living. And I think that's the real kind of theme of it all, right?
Yeah, no. I think you have a great point when you mention, like, this is one of those movies I think you could come back to if you need a little pick-me-up or you need a reminder of what it's all about. This is a movie you can come back to and be like, yes, that's really refreshing.
It is a very stirring movie. It's like, it makes you question how you're living your life and it makes you wonder, you know what? Is that shit that important?
Dad, with you about to be retired, did you have any thoughts of that during watching this movie where you're like, shit, like I'm about to be in my new chapter and maybe I can apply some of this?
I've been thinking about that for the last 6 months, It's like, just kind of, guys, for me, I call it a wind down. It's winding down. It's going to take a lot for me just to slow, calm down because, I've been doing this for 35 years. Getting up every single morning, wham! I'm off and I'm going. And
you've played the game, man. You've played it.
To be able to slow down, to be able to, the thing is do what I want to do. It's gonna it's just gonna be so different for me to be able to take the time. Time is so valuable, guys. I sound like an old man.
Can't buy it.
You cannot buy time. And that is something that I wanna just squeeze everything out I can now.
What's the line, Mike?
It's Carpe Diem.
No, I want to suck the marrow out of life.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you.
We didn't just read poetry; let it fall from our tongues like honey. That's it's so fucking good.
It's
so many
powerful.
Good lines, like in this movie. It's just brilliant. And we just watched F1. Our movie before this was F1. Loved it. But they're very different,
that's
right?
Awesome. Yeah, you're right. Because F1 is like full, just like hot rod. All of that
entertainment. Just entertainment. But this is one that's really stirring and moving, and it's so beautiful.
Did you do that on purpose?
What?
Kind of like, because we had the big blockbuster, and then where you're like, all right, let's go. Let's take it down a few pegs. Let's get back into our
I think side. maybe a bit of it was, like just happened, and maybe it was subconsciously moving in me where it's like, you know what? I knew this movie would be a real thought provoker and a really one that sticks with you, and one that you can
look at us. We're uncovering our own layers here, guys.
I love it. I mean, I was very excited that he chose this movie. I didn't know if you all had seen it. Guys,
No,
have you all seen it?
I hadn't. Yeah, that's why I really wanted to watch it.
I've seen it a couple of times, but I was really excited that Austin goes, yeah, I want to see Dead Poets Society, because I knew this is thought provoking. You're going to go, wow. First of all, Robin Williams is phenomenal, and these young actors, you're going to get to see, because they're not young actors anymore. Ethan Hawke, he's in his probably latter 50s.
Yeah, he's had a great career.
He's a wonderful
Robin
actor.
Williams got him his first agent after this. He said to someone, he's like, this guy's going to be something. This guy's worth doing something. So I think that's a great bit about it too. And that really momentous scene where he's spinning him around. I saw a video where Ethan Hawke was telling him about that scene. He's like, I was really nervous for this scene. Like, this was my first big acting scene.
Yeah.
And Robin Williams, right there with me, he said he was nervous too. And he kind of helped me through this scene. And I think there was that was something that he carried with him after the movie. And then he ended up getting him an agent with it. But with this movie, over the years, I had seen scenes. And I was like, how have I not watched that movie yet? Because I'd see these scenes of him in the classroom, him delivering these, phenomenal dialogue and like monologues. And I was like, how have I not seen that movie? Every time I see a part of it, it's like immediately gripping and grabbing. Yeah. And just recently, I had seen a scene from it. And I was like, let's do it. That's the movie. Let's do it. For you. So that's kind of how we came to it. Let's get on out here with
my theme, growing up, teenage love.
Sure.
Beautiful.
Consequences. Poor parenting is the one that I had.
Yeah.
Those were the big ones for me.
Oh, and there's a little call out there. Tina, too, a little Goodfellas.
Yeah.
I was like, where do I know her from?
That was something. I cannot believe you picked that up, because I would have never in a million years.
I actually thought, it was like, was she on that 70s show for like one episode or something?
I thought that
But
too.
no, it was Goodfellas. She's the cousin who forgets to, call the police, or calls the line and gets narked on, basically. Last two questions, guys.
Here we go. Come on, bring it.
First one.
Come on.
Is this movie better with Nick Cage? In what role?
My dad and I, we kind of talked about it while you were upstairs screwing around before this. I think Nick Cage could play Keating in a world.
Oh, wow.
I don't think he does it. It's a very different character. But
it's a very different character.
It's a little more crockpot. I think Nick Cage could play Keating. I think Nick Cage, I'm thinking Fast Times Nick Cage, like very young Nick Cage, if the timing aligned, could play one of the school kids. I could see him as kind of the rabble rouser, a little bit of the little more in the rebel role.
Like Dalton? You think he's Charlie?
He could probably be Charlie. I think I could see Nick Cage as Charlie, but I'll also say this. I don't necessarily think that Nick Cage would make this a better movie. I think that's kind of my final take on that.
What do you think, Mike?
A young Nick Cage would have been crazy good in this. If you remember him from Valley Girl.
I haven't seen it, so.
Okay. A young Nick Cage, Valley Girl, he could have played, help me, the young man, right? Knox. I just went brain dead. He could have played Knox, and it'd have been different, but he could have pulled it off.
Yeah. I'm going to go with one role that I think he does make the movie better.
Here we go.
How about that?
This is going to be great.
I don't see him as any of the schoolboys that we come to love, just because I think
we go, Griff.
I think those roles are like perfectly cast.
Oh yeah, they're
like
great.
Cameron's as much as we hate that guy, he's the guy you want to hate.
Oh.
Like, look at that. That's a punchable face if you ask me, right?
Like you said, we did applaud when he got punched in the grill.
People applauded it. He deserved it.
We did.
You know who I have him as? I got him as Chet.
Chet? Really? The boyfriend?
Chet Danbury. I think he can deliver the line. I see you again. You're dead. I think that's Nick Cage.
Griffin,
and I think
he could have done it.
And I think the movie's better then.
So
great. We snuck it on in.
It would have been much more memorable.
Yeah. Just a small little cameo for Nick Cage popping in right there.
You.
That's Chet. Final one, guys. Is this a wine movie or is this a coffee movie?
This is a coffee movie for me. And I'll say I even finished, I kind of had a crazy week. So I ended up finishing this movie yesterday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And what was I doing? I was drinking coffee. And I was thinking of our themes, and I said, this is a good coffee movie. It's a nice little wake up. I think this is like a fall movie.
Great.
It's a little crispy.
They got some good scenery in there.
They got some great scenery.
Good weather. The Northeast is very romantic with that. Where
was this film?
Delaware, like the Northeast for sure. Yep. So that kind of prep school, fall, like beautiful changing of color.
You're drinking some coffee from a nice mug.
That's a good call.
And having a nice morning. That's what this movie is to me.
Yep. Mikey.
Guys, honestly, I think you could have any drink this movie. I think you could watch this in the morning drinking coffee. You could watch it in the evening with wine. Personally, for me, which would have been more, I think just much more dynamic for me, I'd like to have a glass of bourbon on ice. And I think it would have done it for me because I probably would have been yelling and hooping a little bit more. Yeah. And then I know the scene with Neil would have been more upsetting if I was, little bit, if I was about half tight. Cause I'm telling you what, I was tearing up, after it and when it happened. So I'm going to go with bourbon.
I got it as a wine movie.
I agree.
Really?
Yeah. I think you're going to sip on your wine, and same kind of deal with F1 where I was saying you're going to get a bit emotional with it.
Oh yeah.
You're going to get nice and sappy and, teary with your wine. Maybe a cigarette as well. These guys are smoking cigarettes in their caves.
Smoke a lot of cigs, some pipes.
It's the era they had the pipe. So I'm going to get romantic. I'm going to have some wine.
Beautiful.
What kind of wine we having, Austin?
What would this one be? Maybe a nice Pinot Noir, elegant, crispy, be able to.
Pinot Noir probably would be good. A little bit lighter. But it's just, you can probably take a nice cab though too. Just like the richness. The marrow, something really just in there.
Full of body, full of life, a lot to say. But I think a nice, exquisite, very crafty Pinot Noir is a really good one to.
Nice and sleek.
That's romantic, sleek, poetry. It's a poetic wine, right? So
it is poetic.
I think so. So I want to suck the marrow out of life, and I'm.
Beaujolais. Beaujolais. I think
Gamay is the
I had a really good Beaujolais.
I'm into it too,
a while ago.
Yeah, I've had some good
Louis Jadot. Actually, that was what got me.
Yeah, we need to drink some wine together. I've been the only one drinking wine lately.
It's been a second.
Personally, I think a double oak over ice would have been. Woo.
And guess what? What makes the women swoon more than wine?
Not much.
It's the wine movie. Point. It's a wine movie.
Now, here's the thing I did. Before we get out of here, Austin, we got to talk about Neil's suicide, I think.
Sure.
I think that's a huge scene, and I think we'd be doing an injustice to the movie to not talk about it.
Yeah, maybe we grazed over it. I feel like we kind of discussed a bit of it. But what do you want to say about it, I guess?
I don't know. I mean, and I'm not... Again, hugely impactful scene. I think it really kind of brings everything back down to earth, and it just kind of takes you out of the clouds a bit. Because this movie is a very you're in the clouds. You're in your.
It's a feel-good movie.
It's a feel-good movie, and
up until then,
that kind of brings you back down to earth a little bit.
It's heavy.
I think I told you guys it almost felt a little. I don't want to say exaggerated, but just it's shit, really?
But that's adolescence in a way, man. That's a teenage suicide. It's a romantic thing. It's a poetic
Griffin, it's
thing.
not the best decisions, obviously.
It's impulsive, obviously.
It's impulsive.
But what it is, we know what it is. It's this guy's dreams and everything that he wants being stifled. And you got to believe that this isn't something that's new. This is constant, and everyone knows it. So this is something he's been putting up with.
Yeah, his dad says you're going to military school.
Yeah, you're out, man, because just because you want to act in a play. Why couldn't he keep doing school and act?
Guys, and the thing is when your dad spoke back then, there was no, hey, I can go back to him the next day and I can talk him out of this. Yeah. There was no talking his father out of this. That's a good point too, Mike,
because
things were different than now.
Yeah.
Griffin and I had our arguments, and then he'd go to mom, and then mom would come to me and tell me, life's, you'd better do this or else, you need to be the bigger man. Yeah. And then we'd go have a discussion and talk it over, and then we'd come up with a better solution.
He says it himself. He says, I'm trapped,
Yeah. That was it.
Phone call from God.
There it is.
What an idiot.
There's Charlie.
So funny.
But it is really impactful. And as we mentioned, man, what, Robin Williams ended up taking his life. It does have an extra gravity to this. And I don't want to leave this movie on such a sad note, but let's think of the impact that he made. And
oh my God,
you got to. I guess we can be happy that Neil did get to have his performance. He got to be great for one last time. He was
great,
and he was great.
And I think that another last thing we mentioned, the ending scene where they all stand on their desks, Captain, my captain.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, I do think that is a tremendously moving scene. It's amazing, and it's also, I mean, if you're talking like 100 greatest scenes of all time, I bet that's somewhere in there.
It's in the top 100.
It is about as good as it gets, and what like a great note to leave you on. And I think that's why it's so lasting, because you do leave that movie with a mixed bag of emotions. You've felt the loss. Yeah, well, even these boys, they're not over it. They're still hurting.
That was
deeply.
Another thing that got me.
So fresh.
Like, the truth is they lost. The truth is Keating is gone. Keating's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
This Nolan is taking over the classroom, and he's going to be teaching. He says, "Oh, we're going back to Pritchard." Like, oh, here we're going back to this. So these boys are about to have to.
That page is gone.
Yeah, the boys are about to have to go back to this.
No Wanda.
The boys. It's over for them. The Dead Poets Society got discovered. Neil's gone. It's over, but I did think it was kind of beautiful because I thought it just kind of touched on this aspect of life, which is pretty inescapable. There's always going to be that challenge, that fight back, that thing pushing you down, and there's just that little glimmer of hope. What that was, them standing on that desk, "Oh, Captain, my captain," that to me was the glimmer of hope.
They lost the battle, but they won the war.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna carry those principles on with them. It was Keating left his mark. That's what happened. He made his impact on these boys, and that's what a good teacher.
You can't stifle that.
And that's what a teacher does,
man.
Yeah. Well, beautiful. Let's get the hell on out of here, guys. Woo! Let's say our goodbyes. Before that, if you're still here, if you're still listening, thank you very much. We love it. The people who've reached out to me and said you're enjoying it. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
My friends who have said that, I appreciate you guys very much.
We love the affirmation, guys, to know that what we're doing isn't going unheard, but we're having a lot of fun doing it. And for those of you, once again, who are listening, thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. Hey, share us around town. We'd love to have more of you around here hearing us, the Purple Gang. Let's keep building. Let's keep growing, right?
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
You got anything to say? Next time you're on here, you're a free man.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Gosh, guys, next time you see me, big smiles on this. The bags under my eyes, they may not be there anymore. So I may be looking more like Brad Pitt by that time. Okay. So
let's
maybe
not get ahead of ourselves.
Maybe Brad and I are going to look a little similar now. I won't be as tired, but guys, this is so much fun. We as Austin said in the very beginning, guys, we are working to be able to put these out every Sunday. So we've been hustling, every third day to try to get one of these out. We put one out, F1 today. We will have this one out next Sunday. After that, the game plan is it's my turn. So,
hey, do you know what you want?
Absolutely.
What's the movie?
I'm coming after the guys and gals that keep telling me, hey, keep fighting for the old guy and gal out there. A river runs through it is what we're going to do.
Hey, there it is, buddy.
We'll do a river runs through it.
A river runs through it. Again,
$20 everyone at home saying, what the fuck is that?
No way.
Glass mic. We're going to
No way. And you know what? Fun. I want you to bring as much criticism as you can. Guys,
I'm not saying that.
No, I mean, I want, if it's there, but guys, no way. This is a Robert Redford film. Again, Brad Pitt. Lord, women, you know what I'm talking about. Brad Pitt is probably at his peak of his career in this movie. So you're going to be excited to see this.
Put it away, Mike.
Plus, we get to go to Montana to do some fishing. And I know you guys are going to love that. So thanks again to everyone. Again, I'm having people come and see me about this. They love our podcast. I've got friends that want to come on board. Woo! So, guys, we are going to get you on. You know who you are. We will get you on.
We will. Whole lot of fun, guys. Great way to spend our Sunday morning.
Absolutely.
I feel great. I'm going to listen to F1 after this. It just came out today, so I hope if you're listening to that or have listened to that,
let's throw it on the big screen real quick.
Yeah,
I guess we could do that. How about it?
That.
Well, all right, guys, we're going to get on out of here. You said your goodbyes, Griff.
Yes, we have.
Mike, you said your goodbyes. My back is sweaty. We've had a blast. Oh, man. We'll be back here next week, and we'll be back here the week after that. And we're going to keep on working.
Keep on rolling.
We love doing it, and we love hearing from you guys. So once again, if you're loving it, let us know. It's really appreciated. But all right, we'll get on out of the booth. We've had a whole lot of fun. Long time talking, but a lot of fun too. Guys, once again, love you, and bye-bye.